Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing an oil change on my 2002 Honda Shadow Spirit 1100 cc's, and here are the 10 steps you're going to need to do that. And I'm going to demonstrate how you guys should do that. So there's a couple things you're going to need. You're going to obviously need a pan. I was going to do my gear oil, but I didn't today. And then you need your engine oil. Then you also need a filter, oil filter, and there's the 303. Make sure you get that. I'll leave it in the description. You'll also need a socket wrench. Combination is usually just a 17 millimeter, or you can use a normal wrench or some gloves. Once you have that, the first thing you're going to want to do is remove the engine oil bolt. So that's located on the kickstand side. So just make sure that that you're right by there when you're changing your oil. That's the bolt. And then you want to make sure that you have the pan ready for when you're going to take the oil out. Then the next thing you want to do is obviously remove the bolt. So that's why you're going to get your socket wrench, 17 millimeter, and then you're just going to loosen it to where it's loose, but not like no oil's coming out. Obviously, don't loosen it that much. Just loosen it enough to where you can get the bolt kind of moving, and then from there you just slowly start to take the oil out. Get your pan, put it underneath, and then make sure, try to be as neat as possible, because I dropped some oil here. But once you get the oil draining, you're good to go. Then the next thing you want to do is replace the engine oil bolt. So make sure that's nice and tight. Inspect the washer too, that's behind the bolt here, and make sure that it's not cracked. In most cases it's not going to be cracked, but you just want to make sure you tighten that thing pretty good. That way no oil comes out. And if any parts are broken, obviously replace them. Then the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to remove the oil filter. So with this one, I like to use this oil filter because it's a lot easier to remove than the traditional Honda one. But you basically just want to turn it counterclockwise, and then enough to where you can get it off with your hand basically. So once you use your 17 millimeter, just get it like loose enough to where you can take it off with your hand, then slowly take it off. You're going to see a bunch of oil come out. Make sure you do it slow. Like I said, you don't want to drop that thing in the oil. That's a mess. So if I dropped my bolt when I was taking it off, and it's kind of like I don't want to be touching that. But nonetheless, you take the oil off. Make sure you wear gloves so you don't get too dirty, and then let that drain out. Also, I would let the engine oil drain out for like 5 minutes. I forgot to say that, but same thing here. Just give that like another 5 minutes. Don't rush it. Just let all the oil come out. Then you want to take your new filter and put your old filter in that box, but take your new filter, and then what you want to do is take the plastic off of the cover of the filter there. And then what you want to do is, I'm going to demonstrate it here, but once you take that off, you're going to take some of the old engine oil. Just use that. It's not a big deal. And then what you want to do is start to apply a little bit over the seal of the new filter. What that's going to do is just going to lubricate it and make it so that it doesn't necessarily crack, even though it's unlikely to crack, but do it anyway, because I think that's just a safer thing to do. And then what you want to do is obviously put that back where your filter was located. You know, put a liberal amount. Like don't think that you're gonna mess up your filter by putting some of that old engine oil just on the seal. It's not a big deal. And then what you want to do is replace the filter with the new one. So you just want to turn that clockwise and put it tight enough to where the seal actually hits the metal of the bike. And then from there you want to take your socket wrench and you want to turn that again, but you want to turn it, I would say 3/4 from where it's located there. So you see this, the sign of the logo it was facing upward when I started. What I want to do is I want to move that 3/4 around. Instead of turning it completely to where it was again, I just did 3/4. I hope that makes sense. So just turn it to where the sign is now on the left side, and then from there you want to remove your engine oil cap, and you want to make sure that you do that and put that don't lose that, but then the oil is just going to start spilling out. And then you want to start pouring in your new oil. But before I show you that, what you want to do is make sure that you buy, for example, my bike takes 4 quarts. So make sure that you apply the 4 quarts to it based on what the manual is saying for your bike. But, you know, each line here is a quart. So you just basically pour the whole thing. If it's less than 4 quarts, then obviously go based on that. And then you want to start pouring in that oil nice and slow. Do not rush it. You're going to spill oil all over your bike. And then you want to make sure that you the filter the funnel, you want to make sure that it's not pushed in all the way. Just lift it up a little bit. That's just going to give it some room to move freely, because I find if you push it in too hard and you pour it too fast, then the oil starts coming back up the funnel, and you don't want that, because as soon as you like lose some stability or something, like when you're trying to pour it in, you don't want it to like pour all over the bike. So just pour it in slowly and take it off of the actual inside of the oil reserve there. Then you want to make sure that you run your bike for 5 minutes. I would do 5 minutes and just let that run to circulate through the engine, the oil. And then you want to check your engine level, your engine oil level. So what you do is you remove the dipstick, you got to screw it off. And then from there, you want to check the oil, make sure that it's at the right level, wipe it off first, and then make sure that your bike is level too. So you got to sit on it and get it like level. Don't tilt it. Don't have it tilted when you check. But this is basically the dipstick. On the right side is the low level. On the left side is the high level or full. So you want it on the left side, that left line right there. And then once it's complete, you'll look like that. It's nice and full. Then you basically want to replace your engine oil dipstick, put it back, screw it all the way in. Also, when you're checking the oil, just dip it in. Don't screw it all the way in. And then that's pretty much it, and you're done with your oil change. So if you found this video helpful, like it, make sure to comment down below and subscribe. We also put out several videos a week on engine only sounds during my rides. Have a great day.